Good morning. Today we are going to deal with the business correspondence and its various forms. Let us look at how business correspondence is being dealt with, and business correspondence is a key feature in learning how to approach different types of correspondence in business transactions. Let us look at the different types of business correspondence. As you can see on the screen, we have two kinds: external correspondence and internal correspondence. Let us look at external business correspondence in detail in the beginning. What constitutes external business correspondence? We have business letters, telex messages, facsimiles, electronic mails or emails, notices, reports, recruitment, employment correspondence, proposals, technical articles, leaflets, brochures, announcements, press releases, advertisements, and customer newsletters when we talk about external business correspondence. Business letters are letters most widely used, which can be between partners, clients, written on matters of personal interest between individuals, firms, companies, on matters of trade and commerce. Telex messages deal with teletypewriters connected to telephonic network to send and receive signals, with printed messages transmitted and received by teleprinters using public telecommunications network. Facsimiles, also known as fax, is an image of a document that was scanned and sent electronically by machine, as a slang for the machine used to send the message. It allows businessmen to transmit information in an efficient and effective way. Next, we move on to emails, which are another external forms of business correspondence, where they are computer sorted or stored messages which are sent through telecommunication and are exchanged through electronic or computer channels through networking services. Then there are notices, which are placed before councils, before public bodies, which give public information about services, events, planning, etc. Then there are reports, which are vital tools to communicate needs of all types of organizations, from decision making to description of events. Then there's recruitment and employment correspondence exchanged between applicant and organization. Likewise, there are business proposals, which are offered by one party to another to provide a product or service to another party in exchange for money. Likewise, there are technical articles, which are essential to all fields of science, technology, humanities, and management, as they add to the existing knowledge and understanding of a particular topic or subject. Then there are leaflets and brochures, which are again another types of open letters designed to be handed out to people either by hand, by post, inserted in local newspapers for distribution, or left in venues, shops, restaurants, caves, libraries, in public areas also, anywhere where they will catch someone's attention easily. A brochure is a booklet or pamphlet giving information of and advertising something in detail with written information and sometimes added pictures to convince readers about an idea. Likewise, there are announcements which refer to public statements containing information about an event that has happened or is going to happen. Likewise, there are press releases, which is an invaluable tool in the field of public relations, aimed to attract favorable media attention to provide publicity for products or events marketed by an organization or by an institution or to cover specific events. Then there are advertisements. Advertisements are a form of communication which make consumers aware of specific products or services available in the market. Then there are customer newsletters, which not only disseminate information but sometimes remind, guide, and provide specific instructions. Moving on from external business correspondence to internal business correspondence, we have circulars, business memos or memorandum, complaints, questionnaires or forms, notices, agenda, emails, staff newsletters, and minutes. Circulars are notices seeking the opinions of the staff, often circulated in order that each person has one and can fill it and give his or her own comments on a specific matter. Then there are notices which may be oral or written in the form of notification issued or published in some news media, given to members and to all those who have a right to attend before a meeting is conducted. Then there is the agenda, which can be defined as the combination of various issues or items which are prepared by the secretary in an organization or institution which are to be discussed in detail in the forthcoming meetings. Then there are business memos or memorandum which are formatted, written in specific way, carrying many purposes including informing employees, giving directions to them, outlining specific procedures, requesting data, supplying responses, and sometimes confirming decisions. Then we have complaints, which determine whether guests or clients are lost forever or whether the relationship with them becomes stronger. Then there are emails, which deal with the exchange of computer stored information, and it's a way in which a channel in which we send and receive messages quickly and securely. Then there are questionnaires or forms. A questionnaire is a data collection instrument where there are a list of questions to be asked from the respondents. These are useful to obtain specific information about a definite problem so that data, after analysis and interpretation, results in better appreciation of the problem. Then there's minutes of a meeting, usually a written document that accurately and objectively records the essence of a meeting. Then there are staff newsletters which deal with all important details and information for the staff or for the employees in an organization. Usually they are issued by the company on regular intervals so that to keep the staff updated about the company's performance and day-to-day activities. Now we are going to deal about persuasiveness and what persuasiveness is and what are persuasive letters and persuasive communication. When we talk about persuasive letters, they are written to persuade an organization or individual towards accepting the sender's issue, interest, or perspective. It can be written in any type of organization like a school, a college, a bank, a municipality, etc. The individual writing it can be a director, a CEO, a manager, a government official, etc. It is usually used to get your work done. This is the primary motto. Getting your work done is the motto of persuasiveness and the usage of a persuasive letter. Such letters must be persuasive, logical, and convincing based on facts and statistics. Example, watching a TV advertisement, we feel the necessity of buying a face cream or a specific electronic gadget, even a food outlet's burger too. Usually, a persuasive letter is aimed particularly at people of low profile, low education, and low intelligence to influence them to purchase or buy a particular product. What are the objectives of a persuasive letter? Let's look at them in detail. It carries two purposes, a primary purpose and a secondary purpose. The primary purpose again has two connotations. The primary purpose of a persuasive letter is to raise consciousness and to clear obstructions. The secondary purposes are of four kinds. The first secondary purpose is to improve the communicator's image. The second one is to improve the organization's image. The third one is to minimize or end miscommunication which has happened. And the fourth one is to improve goodwill. Now let us discuss about the basis and methods of writing a persuasive letter. The methods are usually interrelated. The first one deals with the motives of communicator, example a salesman at your doorstep. The second one is to impact the emotional process. Example, when you refer to a persuasive letter, a persuasive ad of some shampoo, emotional process gets involved. Example, you see the long hair, you talk about the softness, the silkiness of the hair, etc. Then the third basic method, which a persuasive letter entails, is credibility. Sometimes dignitaries and popular figures are included in the persuasive letters. The pictures of these people or the people themselves get involved to give credibility or to give authenticity of the product which is launched. Example, a cricketer drinking a Pepsi bottle would be more credible to its customers. Similarly, when we talk about the fourth basic technique of writing a persuasive letter, or the fourth method which is used to write a persuasive letter, is selection of proper words. Example, music, taste, sensibilities, food, and travel words are used when we talk about specific connotations. When we want to talk about a music, when we want to talk about a music album, we will try to include various words related to music. Likewise, when we talk about food, we refer to its taste, the flavor, the spiciness, the kind of sweetness or sourness or the taste it entails. Similarly, travel letters, persuasive letters used for travel brochures include specific sceneries, specific places, specific people related to the places so that immediately the customer or the client gets attracted to the particular persuasive letter. So these are the four basic techniques or methods used when we write a persuasive letter. The motives of the communicator is being entailed. Emotional process of the recipient is being understood. The third one, credibility is being increased by introducing popular figures and dignitaries. Fourth one is selection of proper words in relation to the specific context is done so that persuasive letter becomes more meaningful and attractive. Let us look now at the methods involved and the various steps to write a persuasive letter. We have two types of methods, the direct method and the indirect method. The direct method involves the subject matter, the explanation, and the closing. When we talk about the subject matter, we look at the choice of words and the cause of purpose. When we talk about the explanation in the direct method, we look at 2 points, the detailed explanation and then the example or the number of mediators involved in the explanation. When we talk about the closing of the direct method, when we talk about the closing remarks of a persuasive letter in the direct method, the closing remarks will entail a cultured approach, a positive concern for one and all, which will directly involve the client or the customer towards being influenced. And then the indirect method, when we talk about, it uses four essential phases. It's called IDA: catching the attention, catching the interest of the customer, catching the desire of the customer, and catching the action. So, persuasive letter carries indirectly these techniques. Attention is inviting the customer's attention, interest, arousing the customer's interest towards the product, towards purchasing the particular product, and then desire, creating desire through tangible and statistical facts, and then putting into action by appealing to the passion and directing the action to the reader himself. So, persuasive letter follows the steps in direct method and in indirect method. Let us look at order letters and the types. Order letter is written by a buyer to a supplier, informing his desire to buy a certain quantity of goods with required specifications at a certain agreed price. The date of delivery and location is predetermined in this letter. Order letters also specify the terms of payment and conditions like packing, the insurance facilities, etc. Now, let us talk about the different types of order letters. There are three kinds. First or trial order letters. A trial where a trial order may be placed if buyer is not sure of the demand of the product and he wants to know what kind of product it is. He doesn't confirm or affirm what kind of impact it will have or has in the market. Then we use a trial order letter. When is a repeated order letter written? Repeated order letters are used if the goods bought on trial basis are proved satisfactory and there is possibility the buyer may repeat the order again and again. Then a repeat order letter is used. The third type of order letter is routine order letter. Orders placed by buyers at regular intervals for usual supplies are called routine order letters, where prices and terms are fixed and they are usually followed every time by the organization or by the company or by the industry or by the specific institution. What are the contents or components of an order letter? The components are reference, quality, quantity, packing, pricing, terms, transportation, time limit, insurance, place of destination, assurance, etc. Reference deals with reference of the quotation. Quality talks about the size, the color, the brand, etc. Quantity specifically refers to the number of units purchased, the weight of the unit, the units which are required. They should be specified in an order letter. Likewise, packing deals with the nature of packing which is required by the company. Then another component is pricing. To mention the price of the products being stated in an order letter. Then terms should be mentioned, terms and conditions of the order should be mentioned clearly. Transportation, the mode of transportation should be stated clearly. The time limit Time limit to be stated for delivery to avoid loss of brand image and goodwill should be stated in the order letter itself in the very beginning. Then insurance, whether there is any responsibility of insurance in case of breakage or damage to goods in transit should also be noted, should also be stated in an order letter. Likewise, place of destination should also be stated clearly. The letter should contain delivery location, like whether you have to deliver the components in a shop or to a godown. Likewise, goods should be assured. The assurance of cooperation and quick payment along with delivery in a given time should also be noted when you write an order letter. This is an example of a sample order letter where the address is seen, the date is seen on the right side in the MMDDYY format. Then we have the telephone number, the telegram, the reference order, and then the inside address, then the salutation, then the body of the letter, and then the subscription, and then the closure stating the traders itself. Then there is the inquiry letter. It is another most important form of business letters or business correspondence. Inquiry letters, according to Morris Philip and others, is a form of letter that seeks information concerning goods and services from a business concern. Let us look at the objectives of an inquiry letter. The specific objectives of an inquiry letter deal with getting a price quotation, asking for a catalog. Sometimes it is for knowing payment terms, knowing past record of a job applicant. Sometimes inquiry letters are for the sake of knowing the credit worthiness of a firm or person. Sometimes it is for asking for folders, asking for specific details. Sometimes it's for knowing the business reputation of a firm, sometimes for knowing the transportation facility, sometimes for knowing the quality of a product, times knowing the availability of an item, sometimes to evaluate the performance of a firm or a person, sometimes to know the social status of a firm or person. Let us now look at the different types of enquiry letters. There are four kinds of enquiry letters: solicited enquiry letter, unsolicited enquiry letter, inquiry for some favor, routine enquiry letters. Let us look at what solicited enquiry letter is. A solicited enquiry letter is an enquiry made in response to the seller's advertisement and publicity. Unsolicited enquiry letter deals with enquiry made at the buyer's initiative. Made at the buyer's initiative. Inquiry for some favor. Here, inquiry is not made for goods and services but for special prices or for getting favorable terms in relation to the supply of specific goods and services. Then there are routine enquiry letters where enquiries are made by old regular buyers in the usual course of action regularly. This is an example of a sample enquiry letter where you have the address of the particular person to whom we are writing about, and then the date in the blocked style, and then we have the address to whom it is written, and then the subject, and then the salutation, and then the body, the content, talking about the enquiry, specific enquiry about the price and time of delivery of computers and printers here in this case, and then the subscriptory closure, then the person's name and his designation in the particular organization. So coming to this, we come to a close of the second unit, and I hope this material will support most of the people. And lastly, I'd like to talk about the complaint letter in brief, which is usually for the sake of knowledge. Complaint letter is usually lodged with the aim of rectifying a wrong done and not for provoking a fight at all. All complaints should be supported and addressed or resolved in due course of time. Usually, there are specific reasons for complaints, which can be for defective product or service, sometimes unacceptable conditions, sometimes internal conflicts, sometimes bad public administration, sometimes problematic superiors. All these are reasons for complaints. Now, what is the occasion in which we get complaints? The occasions for complaints are order not executed as per schedule, not right quality of goods are supplied, sometimes more number of goods are sometimes supplied and sometimes less number of goods are supplied in terms of quantity. Sometimes goods are damaged in transit, sometimes higher prices in invoices rather than what is stated in the order letter. Sometimes the terms and conditions of the sale are violated. This is an example of a sample complaint letter. This is only for the sake of learning and knowledge, dear students. Hope this particular content helps you in providing a brief knowledge about the various forms of business letters and business correspondence in business writing. And I hope few forms of business letters have been addressed to all of you. Thank you.